Hello, everyone, and this is our first stream in October, which, as everyone knows, is basically Halloween month. So, what the plan was to pick a new game. We have about 5 weeks or something. Early November, a bunch of games come out, and some of them I want to play. So I kind of thought I'd need a game that wouldn't be too long, and I also realized a little later, after I'd already rattled down a whole list of games that I was thinking of doing, that maybe in October I should pick a game that is slightly more, scary and moody and things like that. And so I sorted my games library by horror and went like, okay, that's too scary for me, that's too scary for me. And then I found this one, and it's still, from what I know, it's a slightly scary game, but I've never played it, so this will be the first time of me playing it. But yeah, so we'll be playing The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. And hello, Ada. Hello, Garish. How are you doing? How has your week been? Anyway, I guess we should start to. Why do you put two scary games in your library? Well, because I thought, they're scary enough. I'll manage them, and then like half an hour in or something, I went like, oh no, I can't keep playing this. My week was very relaxing, so that's good. So let's see what this game starts with. This game is a narrative experience that does not hold your hand. That's slightly pretentious.
Ethan Carter, I didn't know, but he knew who I was. When the police won't help you and the priests don't believe you, you call on Paul Prospero. You call on me. If you're a kid like Ethan, you're right. Plenty do. Ethan's letter started out just like any other fan mail. But soon there were mentions of things no little boy should know about. There are places that exist that very few people can see. Ethan could have drawn a map. I hadn't entered Red Creek Valley yet, but already I could feel its darkness reaching out for me. Finding Ethan Carter wasn't going to be as easy as knocking on his door. I was too late for that. To find Ethan, I had to figure out what this place was trying to hide from me.
Alright, that seems ominous already. What happens if we just walk back? Just as an experiment. Oh, interesting. Invisible wall. Okay. Can I? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I guess they're believers in invisible walls. You know, it always tells you a little bit about a game, if it scares you, like if it puts some in-game reason why you can't back, like if your character will just suddenly say, no, 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 I came here to solve a problem and I won't leave until I have done it. Or if it's just, like if there's some broken down car or whatever that prevents you from going forward or so. Is there a bend in this rail? It feels a bit as if they swapped to like a pre-rendered version of this tunnel. It's weird. Okay, so I guess we can follow the track and hope that no train will run over us. Maybe we walk beside it. No idea what that is. Could Be a rock, could be a dead bird. It's a nice forest though. Hey, you were just looking at this on Steam. What's the gameplay like? It feels okay. I mean, it's Unreal Engine, you know, so you can kind of, it's kind of how it's expected so far. You can't jump, like I'm hitting the space key like crazy and nothing happens. So you're bolted to the floor, basically. And I've only just started, so there's not that much to say yet. I did a tiny test earlier, so I kind of know there will be interaction, and in this game it's odd, but it feels pretty good. Whoops. That's new. Okay. Here, that's how the interactions work in this game. Okay, there seem to be a bunch of dead bodies. Skulls or something down there. That's weird. So as long as I hold the mouse button, I can't do, like, I can't move or anything. It just shows me this cutout, which is a little weird. But yeah, in general, the gameplay feels, you know, pleasant, like you'd expect from an Unreal Engine game. And yeah, I'm doing well, by the way. Had a good relaxing week, and we'll be back at work on Monday, so that'll be fun. Kind of scared now to walk into these. Of course, I wonder if I could, you know, run into the trap and die. Ah, okay, I guess I can't. They always trigger before. That was a bit scary. So okay, they're going for the jump scares here, I guess. Okay, that's roughly the same picture we had before, but larger. So I guess a lot of people have been caught by these traps, is what it wants to tell me. That's not nice. Ooh, and why is my vision so fuzzy? Ah, okay, if I get closer to it, then it goes fuzzy. That's interesting. So I guess that indicates that I can see something there, maybe. I have to be back in the office. No, not in the office, just working from home. I could go to the office if I wanted. You just read sense as the German noun instead of the English verb. Yeah, no, it's not a scythe. Okay. The music is really ominous, really well done. Okay, this is a path. Oh, nice view. Oh, and invisible wall. Okay. So yeah, it feels really nice to play, and it's, you know, the leaves are shaking and everything. I don't think I've got it on the highest quality, and I think I've limited it to 30 FPS just because that streams better from my setup without having to get out ye olde capture card. But okay. Let's do a bit more of exploring here. We found 2 traps, maybe we'll find more. Walk this area in a grid until you step on something. Then try not to bleed out before someone comes to you. Jeez, they really have a bunch of traps here, but yeah, they trigger way before I'm close, so that's that at least. Yeah, okay, it's still the same skeletons on the lawn picture. They just add like one of these swooshes each time. And I guess you hear kind of the sound when you get near a trap. There's like sounds of, you know, like tree branches creaking and everything. Fascinating. Whoa. That's a new one. Hello. Ah, now I can sense it. Okay. Gets to be more and more of a picture of the same spot. Lots of dead people. This is not nice. It's interesting, when I did the test, I basically walked, you know, followed the paths. So, this is quite different when you go, you know, I just walked through and nothing happened, and I went like, okay, they're gonna start calmly, but if you actually explore a little bit, then, yeah, it's not as peaceful as before. Some innovative traps. I'm trying to remember, did I already hear the scary noises? I like that you pretty much have freedom to walk nearly everywhere you want, you know, there's no invisible walls on those big rocks or anything. It's just like at the edge here, I guess. Where it becomes, you know, where it goes down, where they say, okay, you won't walk down there. Which, you know, is fine with me. Doodly-doo, doodly-doo. Oh, here's scary sound again. I wonder how this, you know, like in a game you always have to decide, like, what do you make the player character like? Is it basically just, you know, the real player? Then, of course, you know, most people are not versed in hand-to-hand combat and things, so the question is, how do you teach them all the challenges? Or do you say, well, the player character is a detective and is used to stuff like this, and so is used to avoiding traps, and just say, well, you wouldn't be caught in a trap. At least not the normal traps at the start, you know? So that's always an interesting choice, where they fall on that side of the scheme. I guess their idea is, because it's blocked here, to kind of guide you into this area. But I mean, if you follow the paths, you're safe. And these traps don't look like, you know, animal traps. Like the one with the foot catch, that one was kind of an animal trap, but this one is definitely going for something bigger. Like most animals would just, you know, walk underneath this. Alright. So I guess we have some sort of, I don't know, supernatural sixth sense or something? Oh, the music is really great. Ooh. Ominous, ominous. So yeah, and you can run with the usual keys and things like that. So this game plays, you know, if you're used to any other first-person games, then this has like what you would expect on PC, like mouse to look around, shift to run, WASD to walk. I think, no, the arrow keys do nothing. And kind of like in other point and click adventures, you get interaction with the mouse, I guess. Also,
Valley seemed like a quiet, ordinary place. I've learned two things in my life. No place is truly quiet, and nowhere is really ordinary. Ethan warned me about that. Warned me not to be fooled by what I saw here. He didn't need to worry. I'd worked dozens of cases, hundreds. This would be my last one. Already I knew that.
so yeah, and like these gaps in the wood, like they're, you know, decorative basically. So you're walking around, you don't have to jump, you can't fall down or anything like that. So it's, in that way, it's very normal adventure game, like you would wish an adventure game to be, I guess, which I find nice. So, and it's gorgeous. I mean, look at this. I've turned off motion blur, by the way, so if that's something you like, then this will not look right for you. So you can get your motion blur, but I personally always find that a little annoying. Oh, okay, invisible wall again. Yeah, that explains why they don't have any trains running here. Slightly destitute railway overpass. Kind of wondering why. Sounds are good, you can kind of hear the metal creaking. And by the way, there was a sign earlier. Don't think I stopped to appreciate that. Where was it? Here. Bridge closed. Do not enter. So I guess we're doing that anyway, because we can't go down and everything funnels us that way. So level design seems pretty clear as well. It's well done. You know, this is kind of like if it, you know, that was just a pedestrian overpass that was a little bit more well maintained, then this would be a gorgeous place to take a vacation, I guess. Like autumn leaf colors and everything. The speaking voice is audible, but you hear no music or creaking, by the way. Yeah, I guess it's fairly low. I can probably turn that up a little. Alright, let's see if that works better. Sorry about the turning around. When I switch out, it doesn't do anything. I think you should be hearing more of the game now. Hearing footsteps and stuff. Is that better? Okay, now you hear wind. Good. Creaking. I mean, it's environmental sound, so I don't know. I could probably go into options and let's see, turn up the sound effects a little bit. I should probably turn up voice to full as well. I'm not sure what's the difference between sound effects and ambient volume is. Well, let's go to 60 on that. Let's see how that works when he talks next, or if it's too loud now. This is nice. Bit windy though. Wouldn't want to be in a windy spot on a bridge like this. Blood. Animal, human? Accident, murder? Crankshaft? Fresh scratches, recently used? Crank. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay, so I guess we're sensing that somewhere near the water bridge over there. So is that to our... Well, I don't know, it's somewhere near the bridge, but I can't really see much. But I guess we need to get near the water if we want the crank. Ah, that's the railway overpass, I guess. So it's what, to our right? Ah, that's the thing we saw earlier. So it has to be somewhere down there, I guess. That, you know, like, what's it called? That wall, that blockage over there. Probably is the one that we saw in that vision. We can go in here. Woo. Okay. Let me turn it off. But it doesn't move. Okay. And by the way, I'm locked in place now. So all I can do is look around. Or exit, I guess. And the enter and exit thing is basically an animation, a fixed one. For those curious about the gameplay. Alright. Guess that's a nice train engine. I guess that was for... I don't know, were they taking away, you know, broken parts of the bridge? Or were they bringing materials to repair it? Oh, what's the stuff on the back there? Looks more like they were deconstructing things. Okay. There's another path. Wondering where all of this leads. I guess it leads nowhere. Yeah. That's about as far as I can go before the invisible walls come. So that's not where I'm going. Really weird noises everywhere. This might lead me somewhere towards the crank, I guess. Lots of collapsed road here. Lots of scary sounds. Spooky, scary skeletons. Shivers down my spine. Cut ties. Untied. Tied. No blood. Alright, so what? Someone or something was tied to the... The writing is turning. It's a little sluggish, that's a nice touch. Okay, so I guess we can't do anything with this. It won't turn yellow anymore. That's a bit sad that he can't get repeated info, so I'll have to keep all of that in my head, I guess. It says cut ties. So did they tie someone to the train tracks here? That doesn't sound good. By the way, I'm kind of wondering, I saw the trailer for this game. And there it was basically the mother's voice yelling for Ethan. Which was actually why I picked that title for the stream. You know, like, Ethan! But the thing is, here... of course we're playing as this detective. Gasoline, diesel fuel, dropped in a rush. Wait, what was this? Rotated. Seems to be blood on it or something. Not good. Okay. Not sure why we would take a bloody rock. Anyway, so I'm a bit confused whether we will change protagonists in a while, you know, maybe him knowing that this will be his last mission, his last case. Might be that he has a premonition that he will die or something. And then from then on maybe we get the mother following, you know, the detective she sent. Dried grass. Rectangle shape. Rail car from the bridge. Where is the rail car? Okay, so I guess we're looking for a crank and a rail car. Okay, no, it's that rail car that they're looking. It's the rail car on the bridge, so like the engine, not a hangar. So I guess it ran someone over. Oh. So if you think about it, that means, you know, it was probably standing here. Someone was tied to the tracks there, and the rail car ran them over. And maybe, so either the ties were cut because the train wheels ran over it, or because you know, because the person managed to get themselves free but then probably, you know, was still half tied on because the others were still tied, and then, you know, got run over by the rail car nonetheless. Let's just do this again. I'm getting the feeling I might have stopped holding the mouse a little too early. But we'll see. Or maybe it's just looping. Oh yeah, it just seems to be looping. Okay. But I like this mechanic. It's kind of, you don't need long conversations. You don't need... You know, you don't need, you know, like animations with much detail or anything. They can just use this static model and kind of remind you of the things that you've seen there, and thereby kind of build the story in your head, but only partially. Ooh, there's a path that leads towards the water. That is promising. Maybe we'll find the crank there. If it wasn't for the spooky music and the blood stains and stuff that we found, this would be a really nice area to you know, just walk around in. Maybe, you know, it's, as you see, like, it's getting cloudier here. Like, at the start we had sun over there. Again, I can just walk anywhere I want to. I don't have to take the paths. That's also nice. Like, too many adventure games have you, like, railroaded just exactly on, like, marked paths. So I like that, you know, like I said before, like this is a story experience that doesn't hold your hand. That I called that pretentious, and I kind of, you know, think, you know, it sounds a lot like those, yeah, you know, like this is the shooter only real men play, and if you don't like this, you're not a real man. As if it had to do anything with your dangly bits, whether you're, you know, whether you're playing shooters, and as if those again reflected in any way on what kind of a person you are. Oh, I think I've got wet feet now. Is that just something behind the leaves? Another rock, okay. But so I guess what they mean to say now, that it's not all the paths, but that you actually have to run around and figure out whether there's anything of consequence nearby. That looks pretty much like the spot we saw in our vision. I wonder if we get some sort of explanation why he has these visions. If it's just, you know, a detective. Ah, here it is. We found a crank. It's also interesting that you don't have an inventory. At least none that I see. Like, there's no, here, move the mouse to the bottom of the screen to see your inventory or anything like that. Which of course means, since they have no UI except for these envisioned words, you end up you know, you can just use the mouse to change the view angle, and you don't have to teach people, I don't know, right click to get your mouse. Oh, that's actually zoom in, interesting. Or, you know, I don't know, right click to move the view, and otherwise you have a cursor like it would be in, for example, Myst. I guess if I personally did a game like this, I would probably go the approach kind of like here, but if I had an inventory, I would probably go like, okay, just press I or something to get your inventory, but nothing happens if I press I. And you know, the thing is... Ooh, what's this? Oh god. Found a dead body. Blood from legs, blood from... fractured skull. Cause of death, head trauma. Okay, not yet. Death scene disturbed by third party, eroded by time. Interesting, I can... Okay, so I guess... It's interesting, the body is kind of blue and there's a handprint on it, but we can't see more. Jesus, that got gory quickly. Anyway, so the advantage of having an inventory is, of course, you can see the things you've picked up and kind of, you know, refresh your head and go like, okay, I've picked up this thing, so, under construction. Okay, I guess let's try out the crank. You can kind of remind yourself of all the things you've picked up. Oh, here's more blood. Blood trail. Victim dragged away. Okay, I guess we missed that the first time. Severed legs. Oh god. Guess we kind of walked around that. Or I was just... Okay, yeah, severed legs is not good. So I guess the person didn't get away. Maybe they cut the ropes, got away, but got caught by the rail car. And then there's a blood trail. And maybe if we touch it now, we have an idea what happened. Not yet. All right. This is quite confusing, but not in a... You know, not in a, I don't know what the heck the game wants from me. I have the right idea, I just can't make the UI work way. But more in a, oh, okay, this game is trying to be sneaky and trying to get me to combine all these things. So I wonder if someone took the crank from the rail car and hit that person back there. When they had ran them over a little or something. It feels so much nicer here, oh god. Okay. This is more quick time event. Back there, whatever that does. That's nice, we can ride a train. That sound? Not sure I like that sound. So I'm a little bit confused. The rope is over there. So that means they must have got away. Then why would they keep running on the tracks? You know, wouldn't the first thing you do is get off the tracks? Ooh, okay, now we see more. Though not really that much. Don't destroy evidence. Yeah, that was a bit of my thought as well. Turn it off. Rope. I'm imagining this, and that circle got bigger this time. So, that's a good start. Guess let's go back here. Not enter. What's this? Divot, fresh dirt. Rock fix. Oh. So the rock with the blood on it came from here. There's a dent in it, I guess. I just instinctively try to jump, even though this game doesn't support jumping at all. It's like when I played... Was it Real Mist or Uru? Or one of the Mist games. One of the 3D engine Mist games, to narrow it down. Had... no jumping, and had the snapshot key. Okay, I have to crank crank it to get it going again. And so whenever I went somewhere where I thought I would jump, I should stop here. So that's where it was. And it ran the guy over. It doesn't let me drive past the end of the tracks, I guess. Alright, because there's rocks. Well then. Anyway, and so I had lots of photos that were just like me trying to run fast. So at least there's no photos in this one. Okay, it still does that thing no matter where it stands. Okay. So I guess we know now it ran over that person. But I'm not sure if I should be seeing something. Turn this off, it's a bit annoying and probably a waste of fuel. Was there anything else? Guess let's go down there again, see if there's anything else. I mean, the traps are nice foreshadowing, I guess. Okay, I think that's another slide. Got the crank already. So I guess we've explored everything here. On one hand, I appreciate the mystery. On the other hand, it's a bad feeling if you don't know whether you're missing something and should keep searching. You know, yes, in real life you wouldn't know either, but the thing is, we play games not to simulate real life. Whoa. Oh, we got past here. Well, that's cool. There are some more cars that I guess the rail car and the engine could drag. That's supposed to be a woodpecker. Huh, fascinating. Anyway, yeah, what I meant to... Okay, so there's a railroad crossing. That crossing sign... Oops, sorry. Bumped the microphone there. That railroad crossing sign seems to be a bit out of place. Oh no, it's right there. Okay, now I get it. And it's halfway on the crossing. Okay, yeah, now it makes sense. if that's supposed to be the sound of damaged trees. Or of a woodpecker. It kind of sounds too... I think it's supposed to be trees. I never really noticed. Trees making that kind of sound. Oh. Spooky sounds again. Okay, that's the other side of the path. So it doesn't really matter where we go up and come down. There are more scary noises here. There's a damaged power line. Oh, so my guess is, since the rock came from there but has blood on it, and it said, you know, like whether someone, you know, manipulated that person, that someone probably whacked their head with a rock when they were crawling away. I can't move or anything here, so I can't really correlate this to anything else. Yeah, there seems to be like a dent in the back of the head or something. Oh, like when I scan him, his head seems to be still up. Right. So yeah, I guess that is to indicate that they crawled away. And it says here hurriedly, so that it was probably standing here. Someone was refueling it. The guy was tied to the tracks, got loose. And then they drove towards them and ran them over anyway. Would be my guess. Which is not really a nice thing to happen. And also, of course, you're gonna wonder, like, why was there no police or anything? And I guess then it has to have been forward because the crank was turned, and then maybe they drove backward again? Is there anything in the back? No, I don't think so, right? Yeah. Maybe they then drove back to here. grabbed the rock when they saw they were still crawling and bashed their head in. Not a nice way to start the day, seriously. But yeah, so since the body is still here, this is either something that has happened really recently, or there is no police around to do this. I mean, it can't have been that long because, you know, I think like rain or something would have washed away the blood after a while, right? Or at least, you know, muddled it up enough with the ground. Music is definitely doing a good job here. Yes, I know. You just want to scare me, it's fine. I honestly had kind of hoped that they would, you know, crank up the scariness more slowly. Also wonder, why is there so much scenery when nothing is happening? There's sun. It's nice and warm. Where are we now? Oh, somewhere. Can't we play the game over there, where the sun is? What do you think? Shouldn't we? That would be... seems much more comfortable than going back into that dark place. There's hopeful music, do you hear it? A bit melancholy, but still hopeful music. I think the music mechanism they have is really well done. Like, I don't think this is like media or something, you know, like Monkey Island and those LucasArts games had that muse mechanism that would, you know, take certain motifs and just mix them like as separate tracks. And I hope that ambulance wasn't too loud on stream. It's a really big woodpecker. It's circling above you. Also, it's made out of wood. Yeah, it definitely sounds something like that, yeah. Anyway, so LucasArts had this, you know, like renowned music engine that would combine different motifs that they played as sampled audio because, you know, they still had to use floppy disks, so they didn't have enough room for like full orchestral recordings. And here it sounds like you hear melodies, but it gets darker and spookier as you go in, so they're kind of morphing the music, and you can't really tell like where they're, you know, replacing the loop with something else. And that is fascinating, really. So that's well done. It works well for this game, just how they have the music change as you walk deeper into the forest. And you know, on one hand, it's a totally normal forest, but just by, you know, changing the lighting a little bit and giving you these sounds, you kind of, it becomes dangerous. Feels spooky and scary. What is this? Okay. Found a spaceman. Somewhere up there, I guess. Yes. Okay, so the entire area where we ran. Where did you go? Oh, here. Waiting for us. And now, whoosh, trap in our face. Okay, I didn't expect that, spaceman. I guess calling back to the person who contracted us to find Ethan will be a long-distance charge. Very, very long distance. Okay. Oh, I guess we're zero gravity. And there's another one and another one of those balls. Okay. Anyone have, you know, food or... Oh. That's fascinating. Ethan, I told you to stop abducting people. Yeah, I was a bit shocked by the astronaut myself. Procedural music. Monkey Island didn't really have procedural music as much as recomposable music, where they had, since they had every track separately, they were able to, you know, to get, to, you know, like take, like, you know, fade out certain tracks and fade in new ones, but leave the other tracks in there, so it kind of slowly turned into a different piece. And so they kind of said, like, okay, here it's the happy tune, here's the sad tune, and here it's like the bass line of the sad tune with the top of the, with the lead line of the happy tune or something like that. And so when you walk from one area to the next, the music would just slowly morph, kind of like that. And here it feels like they've done something similar, but with pre-recorded music. Not even with samples anymore, which of course makes it a little harder because you kind of have to create short pieces of music so that at any point you could just stop one and start the next one. Or you have to compose the music in a way, which in both cases you would have to anyway, so that, it can easily be combined. You can easily fade out one track and start another one at the least. And it'll kind of transform into each other. At any bar or whatever that you encounter, yeah. So not really procedural music, but like music that is under control by the game situation, which is always a little difficult. And you can tell that in some games it's just like the music abruptly changes, or there's just a lot of quiet, and in certain spots suddenly there is music. And then it always feels a little in your face. Yet now they want me to feel emotion and give me music. But if you always have music, then it feels like, yeah, this is a game where you always have music, and they're quietly manipulating your feelings behind the scenes. Fangs. The beast had fangs, but was heavy and slow. So when it saw the light in the sky, it waited, thinking the light would go out like the others before it. When it did not, the beast stood, rose up on its legs, and went to the place where the fire was still burning. As the orange light died, another took its place. This one was blue, a bright and pure blue that the creature had only seen along the edges of the stars. The beast showed its fangs, and the light vanished. A moment later, the light appeared again between two distant trees. The beast wanted to go home, but could not ignore the light, so it chased it deeper into the forest. I guess that's what we did.
Get out of my room, Travis!
Stories, always with the stories.
Get out!
I read the Fangs one. I liked the Beast. At least he gets to leave this goddamn place.
Oh, okay. We're back, I think. If you look this train station, we were somewhere over there. And we could see the train station from afar, but I decided to check out stuff farther back. Abstruse Tales. That's like Tales to Astonish or something. There's like lots of old things like that. Yellow Hills of Mars by Douglas Spaulding. Gaylord. Whatever that means. But that thing looks like the ship that just picked us up. Julian West, Clarence Carlyle, Michael Arden, and many others. America's Finest Science Fiction, January 1964, 40 cents. Okay. Travis's Defacement, Gaylord. So Travis was the kind of the bully sounding guy, right? And Ethan was the one who was doing the stories. So he's kind of going like, haha, or what? I don't know. I know that in San Francisco or right across the bridge, I don't know, is that already Los Gatos or something? There is a... Oh, wait, I should probably turn on the lights here before it gets too dark for me to find the buttons. Where's the other one? Come on. I guess that dropped. Alright. Better. Where were we? Yeah, there is a restaurant called Gaylord, so it's a regular word, and not necessarily a slur, but I think since it says defacement, that he's probably using it as like a slur or an insult, right? It's interesting that there's nothing printed on the inside. So is it like a... I mean, if it's like a hardcover, you know, wraparound book cover, then I guess it wouldn't have anything on the back. But if it's like a pulp magazine, which is what it looks like, and at 40 cents, I don't think it would be a hardback book, even in 64. But maybe I'm just guessing wrong here. But anyway, so yeah, it's a little weird that there's no printing on the back. When the light stopped, it did some clearing of trees. The beast entered the circle, feeling no fear. The trees turned toward the beast, pointing at it like needles. But the tops of the trees lowered and dug into the ground. The trunks and roots were raised into the air and closed around the beast like walls. As the ground disappeared, the beast realized it would never use its fangs again. Okay. So I guess you can get captured. So let's see if we go back there. Is everything still there? Okay, these are still there. Yeah, this is still blocked. Fascinating. This is really weird. Like, this is really, you know, it's simple. Nothing much has happened yet, but still I find this fascinating because it's just... Okay. So here is the rail car, and if we go further, yeah, I think the bloodstains, yeah, severed legs, it's all still there. And I guess we don't have any more we can scan here. No. Alright. You know, I thought since we had been, like, transported somewhere else, whether we were, you know, still the same person or maybe another person, and maybe, you know, we were at an earlier time or something like that. You know, so that's always the thing I wanted to check. I think this is where we found the weird thing that teleported us, right? But I don't see it anymore. So yeah, that's where we got teleported to. Which seems to be like Ethan's treehouse or something. wonder... I wonder if I just missed where that weird switchy thing was that showed us the astronaut. But so I guess what this is supposed to tell us is that Ethan went through here as well. And I mean, we got to see, you know, something in space with all these balls that had kind of, I don't know, abducted. Okay, no, I think we don't see it anywhere. Alright. So I guess the direction, you know, assuming the game designers want us to see certain things and continue in certain directions, the next direction would be that train station or whatever. The wind almost sounds like, you know, like ocean waves or something here. Don't know if there's supposed to be an ocean behind those hills or what it is. So I guess we'll go in that direction and see if we can tell anything. Which, you know, is basically the direction we meant to go in anyway. Birch trees. Nice. Is there stacked wood everywhere? Are they clearing the forest here? Or maybe getting wood to repair the bridge? It's not the real time. That would be kind of a fun way of indicating, you know, like time travel or something in a game. You know, have them get past a clock at some point and then later have them come back and it's still it's a different time, you know, like a noticeably different time. It's also like all these two-sided clocks, one is 5 minutes off. Oh, not all of them. But, you know, it's a thing that you notice when it happens. Oh, those are actually two separate clock mechanisms. Alright. Guess that's it. Is there anything back here? This is such a game where you can just spend hours exploring and tripping over things. Okay, but here's nothing anymore, I guess. kind of tempted to kind of go on a search grid or something just so you haven't missed anything.
No trains have been through here for a long time. That was part of a pattern. Large pieces of this country were thrown away, doomed to become, and then remain, the worst versions of themselves. Beneath all that rot, dark things grow.
Okay, so they have a story behind that. Nothing here. But I guess that answers the question whether we're still the same person. It also explains, earlier, I don't remember what he said, but, I remember him... I think we had... Oh, right, it was like at the start, but after we had already found the traps. And he just made these calm commentaries, and it felt kind of out of place to me. Because, you know, like, he had just seen the traps. So, why would he be so calm and ambiguous about this place? If, you know, he already knew that there was something, you know, darker and more dangerous happening, because obviously someone had put up traps. Oh, we're almost at that other overpass that we saw from the distance in the vision about the crank. It's interesting that they just have railway cars standing on there. You'd expect, you know, they probably want to use them for something, so they would, you know, return them to some sort of depot. But no, they're just sitting on the tracks here. I don't know if that's something, you know, that they just occasionally do in the US, or if it's, you know, like maybe the bridge was the only way out, and so they can't service it from the other side. And so that's why they just left them here and went, well, we can drive them off once the bridge is repaired, and that then never happened. It's all so beautiful. The music is horribly melancholy and kind of foreboding, which makes the enjoyment a little less, but otherwise this would be a gorgeous, you know, place to just take a vacation. Sometimes I wish they did that with certain games, you know, just did a re-release of like the maps with like some different, you know, maybe, you know, a little bit less drab lighting, but that's it. It just made like a game that not a game, but like just something that you can walk through if you want to. Where I first thought that was The Division. I got that for free with my graphics card ages ago. And it was like they have like a really nice recreation of, I think it's New York. Yeah, the second one was Washington, I think, so I think it was New York. And, I really enjoyed, just walking out of the safe houses and looking at stuff. And then going, but the problem was you were being shot at every couple meters, so there wasn't really a way to just go, okay, I will explore this some. Because you just didn't have the opportunity. Are there exploration achievements? I haven't seen any achievements pop up, but then, it might just be that it doesn't show them as pop-ups. So I guess I'll see it when I quit the game. If Steam says, hey, you got 25 achievements today. Let's see what's here. There's a lot of just empty area here. Yeah, I guess that explains why the train cars are just sitting on the road there if that part is closed off as well. This would be another house down there and one up there that we can probably reach via the bridge. I wonder where this is supposed to be. Like the architecture almost looks a little too old for the US, so like if someone told me this game was set in Switzerland, I would probably not bat an eye, I mean, I don't know, some of the, like these posts don't quite seem like something you would see there, but I guess could be. I mean, it seems a little, wide for Switzerland, because that's all like in steep, narrow valleys. But it feels much too architecturally fancy for most of what I've seen of the US so far. Although, I mean, these railings are kind of chunky enough that they might be modern. Well, they probably are, because like these, at least like painted like this. What is that supposed to be? No, I think that's rusty metal, right?
I've seen every version of people hurting each other, hurting themselves. And we blame it on compulsion, selfishness, madness. I suppose the idea is, if you name the thing, you can control it. There are things in this world that cannot be named.
All right. That's, yeah. It's not necessarily wrong what you said. those benches also kind of fancy. So at least it feels like an older part of the US or something. I don't even know where this game is set. I guess I should look that up. In the end, it turns out it's, I don't know, a Hungarian studio or something. Would be even worse if it then said, yeah, it's actually based on this real area. Although, I mean, this huge river kind of seems more like North America. There's not that many huge rivers, and like, you know, like still with these mountains and things. So I guess makes sense, but it's hard to pinpoint where it is. But if this place exists for real, might be worth visiting. In Europe, such a river would be 100% populated. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, like, it's, you have stuff like that in the Alps or something, but yeah, like, if a river was fortified like that, you know, to kind of make it, I guess, seaworthy or something, that you can have boats on it, I mean, then it would be important enough, and you know, in the surrounding cities, that's true. And also, like, a huge lake like this, you know, but this seems more like the edge of a river. Or even two rivers merging into one. And I think that, like, there's few lakes in Europe that big. So this is probably the US, at least, you know, just from that. But, like, the architecture looks very old. More European, so I don't know if this, like, what kind of area you would find that in. That's a bit abrupt. Sound change here. I guess part of it is probably supposed to be wind because you're out in the open and here you're sheltered between hills. But it feels like you would hear the water. Alright. This looks nice. I want to sit down on the bench. Oh. I can actually crouch. So, yeah, sitting down on the bench. Crouching in front of it, who cares? Birds. Fascinating. So I guess let's go up there first, because that seems like we'll have to come down here again and it won't lead anywhere else. There's some transformer station or something. I hope the loud car outside is not audible. I have no idea what background noise this microphone picks up. I invoke the Boneless One, the One of Voids, destroyer of ships, and he who is feared by the winds. Hear me. Great Minister Focalor, I wish to make a pact with you to confound my enemies and protect my possessions. Use the doors of confusion to cloud their judgment. Seal the path with falsity and guile, and permit only those who can discern every true interior to pass. Aglon, tetragram, Vachian, stimulamaton, Opharis, tetragrammaton, Olyarum, Irion, Existion, Erasimogum, Messias Soter, Emmanuel, Sabaoth, Adonai. That's, ouch, that hurts. Nobody writes all caps in script letters like that. You know, that's not how script works. Like, basically, you don't have all caps in script. And if you did it, you would, like, put that swing on the D either over the A or just leave it out or something. So that's kind of how you can tell that there's a modern person who just took a font that looked like script and typed their text out. Te adoro et te invoco. Amen. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, here it makes sense because it's a print font, handwritten. It's not script. Stimulamaton, as far as tetragrammaton. It's like a bunch of these things are just geometric shapes, and I guess, like a pentagram or something, they probably have meanings. On the webpage, the valley has a name that exists in the USA, so guess inspired by a real place. Oh, okay. Oliaram, Irion, Esytion, Existion, Eriona, Onera. Onera is like works or like laborers. Orasim Motzim makes no sense at all. Messias is, well, Messiah. Soter, I don't know. Then Sabaoth. That also means something. But I guess in this case it's supposed to be a name. Emmanuel Sabaoth Adonai. Is this a French or Canadian studio? Because, like, writing the last name in all caps is a like francophone thing. What means? You mean Sabaoth means? Oh, Soter means savior. Oh yeah, like sauver, sauteur. I guess that could have morphed into that in French, and then yeah. And I mean, te adoro et te invoco. Yeah, I kind of pray to you or adore you or whatever. What would the right word be in English? Well, and invoco, like I call you or invoke your name or something. I guess that makes sense. Amen, so be it. So I guess it's some sort of scary prayer. Ooh. That door just went spooky. Oh, goodness. Oh. And we're locked in. There are more such doors. Let's just have a peek. I guess all doors are kind of gooey now. Are we in a different place? This looks less Oh no, down there is still the... But the building seems to be missing. The one across over there. Isn't it? Oh! I think that's the building we went into, so now we're in the top floor of the big building. Alright. So that's a bit of, what is it, non-Euclidean space? There seems to be a bottom floor of something. Oh, now we're back. So that's interesting. Went in the top and we're now at the bottom floor. What's here? Oh, we can swap. Oh, now we're at the entrance again. Huh. Yeah, okay, now we're back in our building. But I guess we can magically trigger this stuff. But I think we were up there. Because there, that tower we saw from across. I guess that's fire damage? Or just generally dilapidated. I mean, the wood blocking the windows makes it seem as if it was just shuttered and then slowly damaged. Okay. So let's see if we can do this trick again. Yes, okay. Swap. Oh! Fascinating. Where is this? Where is this? I think we're in the other building again. I wonder what red and blue means in this context. See, we can see the building where we were on the balcony a moment ago. So maybe red means this one? That's the entrance door, okay. So that's how we get back. Oh, and that's all we can do, I guess? Huh. Fascinating. That's a cool way of, I mean, the whole, just giving you a swap and not explaining how you do it is a bit weird. Stop disrupting me with spookiness. Can't you see I'm busy doing linguistics here? What can I say? Oh, you're teleporting. Yeah, it looked like it was teleporting. The strings hanging from the ceiling make you think of barnacles in Half-Life. Guess we'll have to do it again. Oh, these, you mean? I think that might just be wiring or something that has come loose. Yeah, so what feels a little weird is that you just get, you know, like, mouse click to swap. And it doesn't give you, like, any indication how the character we're playing knows to be, you know, to do this. You know, if there was, like, some sort of device, or if your character, you know, like, suddenly picked up a pendant or something that started glowing and, you know, touched it or something to swap this, then you would say, okay, they brought something magical. You're doing it by selling your soul to the devil, incantation. Yeah, I guess. I'm actually wondering if us doing that 3 times has any effect on the rest of the game. Oh, I think we can go down there. Explore that thing in the back as well. Yeah, we can. Ooh, spooky. Oh, that looks like an elevator or something. A broken elevator. So I guess that's how you would get down to town. And they still seem to have power lines. Fascinating. I wonder whether we will get to see that building, or whether that's like the view of, that's the normal area and here up there is the spooky area where nobody can get to. Yeah, but I mean, you know, like, the incantation is one thing, but like, what is our character doing in the real world to trigger this change? Like, is he just looking at it, you know, like, do we just have a feeling? Then why wasn't there any dialogue? This feels like I could, or something, you know, like, there could be some small hint, or at least, you know, some exclamation of confusion or something. I don't know how, but I can control this, or, you know, something like that. Seriously? We can't walk past there where there's obviously an open door? This all feels very old. You know that they have a water pump out there. Suddenly it's very quiet. Oh, this looks just the same.
You need to talk to your son. He was poking around in the old Vandergriff house again. Said he found some secret room.
Yeah, really? Okay, I will go talk to him.
So where does that come from? That's other people. And that's... yeah, that's where we were just a moment ago.
What did you do? What did you wake up?
Nothing. I found a room, I walked into it, that's it.
What did you wake up? So I guess people here... Like something weird must have been happening. Am I slightly lost here? Whoops. Okay. That's where I went in, and here I'm coming out again. Okay.
You can feel it, right? Something coming from the Vandergriff house.
I can feel it. Ethan disturbed the sleeper. He must be punished.
What? That's not nice. He must be punished.
Pop, they're getting worse. They keep talking about this thing, this sleeper.
I know. What I don't know is if it's real or not.
Okay, I can go upstairs more. Okay, that just leads around once. So I guess in the end we're probably supposed to find the secret room.
It's not my fault. I didn't mean for any of this to happen.
I mean, I'm guessing, like, from the way this story is told, that the guy we're playing as has kind of some sort of supernatural perception, and that's why we're hearing these things. Go in here yet? No.
Travis, leave the boy alone. I see how you've been looking at him.
You don't even know, do you? You have no idea what's going on.
It's kind of weird. Like, sleeper sounds a bit, you know, like, whoops. Sounds a bit, you know, like Cthulhu or magic.
You have to help us. It's the only way. It wants Ethan.
You're crazy. You've all gone crazy.
Ethan's family blamed him. Whatever it was he'd accidentally let loose, his family was convinced that hurting him would solve their problems, would soothe their disturbed minds. Whatever haunted the Carters was still here somewhere, in the wind.
Punish the witness. Yeah, that's gonna fix it. And thank you for the follow, One Punch. Yeah. But I mean, that's... You know, like, for, like, if you know, like, magic stories or something, it totally makes, like, it's often that when someone, you know, like, does a curse or otherwise, just um, like uses a magical artifact or something. Often the solution then uh, having that person killed in many horror stories or something solves the problem neatly, possibly sending them to hell. So I guess that's kind of the general thinking they're following. But yeah, it seems really not good, at least. And we've seen that Spaceman before, and that, like kind of, is this like straddling genres, or is it because, like, if you, for example, if you look for Cthulhu, it's kind of, they're supposedly aliens that live under the ocean, sort of, and they have like another dimension or something where they are the old ones. So you can kind of mix it up between space, like aliens that are just so advanced that they seem like magic, and us. So this spaceman could just be part of that, or is there maybe a scientific explanation, and these people just went all medieval without knowing, that there was maybe a scientific solution. Hello there, how do you like the game so far? It's interesting. It's a very unguided experience, which works for it, because you really feel, left alone. And it's very well done, and like the controls feel very natural. It's not like in some other games where you always find it's a little bit clunky, but like it's, mouse to look around, WASD to walk around. They also have this nice effect. If you look on the screen, it's like it's not fixed. It kind of slightly moves, as if there was a like breathing human doing it. And so it's very interesting, very scary, in some ways. A bit too unguided sometimes. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, definitely. There are some moments where I wish there was a little bit more. I mean, on the other hand, I love just exploring, but I'm beginning to think like a lot of the areas that I explored turned out to just be empty. And so it would be kind of nice if exploring was rewarded a little by, letting you find little items or something, so that you have at least a little feeling of success. Fun fact, most of the places in the game exist in real life. Okay, cool. I was wondering that earlier. It seemed like a very, like a lot of the area felt like, the US, but the buildings feel very old. Like almost, too old for the US, typically. It feels almost like Europe. So, it's an odd combination. So that's why I wasn't sure. And Ada mentioned earlier that on the website it said, oh, there's something else to read. I'll do that in a second, though. Mentioned that there are like that the place is named after something that exists. Oh, you say it's like 2 or 3 places merged together, mostly in Poland. Okay. That makes sense, because it really feels like the architecture feels European, but just like how expansive the area is feels like the USA. Like Poland kind of isn't big enough to have unused areas that are that large. At least that's how it feels to me, So it would make sense if they like merged 2 or 3 places together, and then maybe, you know, made parts of it a bit, you know, American or something, that it's a fantastic area. Because I think it's supposed to be, I don't know, is it supposed to be set in the US? Because I kind of had that impression, but maybe that's just because I'm playing it in English. But definitely also, like, the trees and things feel very European, not like the kinds of trees you would find in the US as much. So that totally makes sense, yeah. Maybe some Poles emigrated to the Wild West and brought their architecture. Of course, yeah, that's possible as well, that it's just... But then it would be fairly... Again, fairly early, you know? And that's... I mean, that kind of makes sense. Okay. On the day the photo was taken, Dad was sad, Uncle Chad was mean, Mom was mad, Travis was loud, Gramp was quiet. So I guess the one on the left is Ethan, because he's the one that is not named. And that looks like Gramp, he was quiet. Travis is that guy, so he was loud. Mom was mad. Dad was sad. And Uncle Chad was mean. Yeah, that makes sense. Colors, nature, yeah, exactly. It kind of feels... But I don't know, I would be curious, like, I don't claim to know enough about Poland. To say whether, you know, there are like these large empty areas like that somewhere there. What have you run into so far? At the beginning there was this rail car which apparently ran over someone. And it seems like that person had been tied to the tracks and maybe kind of you know, freed themselves, but still got their legs run over by the train, and then ran away. And I think, but that was like the part where I think I might still be missing a clue, but it looks like that one rock I found was taken from somewhere in the back and probably used to bash their head in. So someone wanted to make sure that person was dead. And then I ran around in the forest and found a pole with like handprints, and when I pushed them in a certain order, suddenly an astronaut showed up, and I chased him around a little bit and got abducted by a kind of science fiction spaceship into Earth orbit, and read a little short story that I think was by Ethan, and then got teleported back down to Earth. And then I found the other building here. That one over there has like a satanic incantation, and whenever you read it, suddenly you can walk into rooms from this building from there. So if you look out the windows, you'll actually see the building you started out in. And I walked around in this house, and yeah, they were all going like, oh, Ethan went into that other house. I guess this is the, what was it, Vanderlinde house or whatever it was. So that's weird, yeah. But it's all very... I wonder if that's like how the entire game will be, if it's just found stories that you kind of have to make your own sense of, or if there will be certain events that you will have to react to. So that will be interesting to see. Yeah. But yeah, I'm liking the game so far. It's well made, it's beautiful. It's also like how the music changes between locations is really well done. Oh yeah, and I found an elevator back there. Oh, what's this? Anything in here? I always forget that you can't jump in this game. Always run up to something and hit space and nothing happens. Oh yeah, and in the beginning there were lots of traps in beside the road, basically, which seemed a bit extreme. And yeah, this thing is apparently out of order, but I guess would lead me down to that other building, so we'll see if that will be something. But yeah, this huge river kind of feels like it would be, you know, never uninhabited because it's too useful. Especially since they already went to the hassle of, you know, putting up all those walls to make the water deeper, to make it suitable for ship. Did I touch the body there? Yes, I did. And like the first time I touched it, the hole was just very tiny, and then it got a little bigger, and it kind of seemed like the body's head was kind of up, and when I touched it, and I think there was some like bump in the back of the head, but that's kind of the point where I think I haven't seen everything. Like I also I drove the car around, which kind of made that thing go a little bigger. But I'm not quite sure if there's something I have to figure out how to trigger it or something, or if I have to move it into a specific location that I just don't know. To get, like, it seemed like I drove it back to the location the cart had originally stood, and then it seemed to give me like a bigger circle of what I was seeing of that body. So it seemed like, you know, that person clawed themselves away from the tracks where they had lost their legs, and now they were dead. And since I found that bloody rock, I kind of assumed maybe someone used that to kill them, because I think when I touched the body, our character said something like, yeah. What do I want to... Like, I mean, it would be... Eroded by time sounds kind of familiar. Yeah, it sounds like... Yeah, it sounds like that was the first touch, yeah. Yeah, but then I didn't get new messages, like, the circle just got a little bigger, and it feels like the traps in the beginning where, you know, you got like an extra swoosh each time you triggered another trap and kind of saw more of that picture of the skeletons of the dead bodies on a field or whatever that was. But yeah, I don't really know whether I triggered like the very last thing there. Oh, this is so nice. So yeah, that's kind of... I wonder if, you know, like, I don't really want, like, spoilers or anyone telling me something, but right now, it doesn't feel like I'm going to go back to do this again. So, I mean, a subtle hint that would kind of help me, like, I have, like, theories what I might have to do, but it all seemed so, like, you know, just trial and error and things, and I wasn't sure. Like, it seemed like when I drove the... Oh, so, at the spot of Was it the dead body? Or was it a little farther back? I think where it had been parked. Like, I could look back towards the train car and it would say, hey, here, this is the train you found. And it would show me the front of the train with a blood splotch again. So it definitely had a connection with that. And so, but when I drove it back to the spot it was originally in, it kind of seemed... You know, like, I wonder, do I have to drive the train car to different locations, or is it just enough to drive it at all? Or I don't know, like, I tried to look at different spots on the body. So...
I've stepped through too many portals, been present in too many worlds simultaneously. Bits and pieces of me stay on the other side, waiting, whenever I return, to bring parts of those worlds back. Do you know what ghosts are? They're sad, evicted things. Memories without homes.
So I guess I could walk along here some more. I mean, I guess, is it worth... let's just go back and see. We're due for a break anyway, so I think let's just head back and check out that location again, and then maybe you can tell me... kind of give me some hints to help me find out what I've missed or something. Probably makes more sense, and then we can take our break, and then we can come back and explore some of the new stuff here. I don't know, it said something about Ethan finding a secret room in that house. So my guess is I might have to figure out what these different, like, red and blue colors and things mean. If I can find a room that is not in the regular house and not in Ethan's house. I guess that would be how to find that one. But yeah, like this like lake or big river bend or something that looks like, you know, something that you'd find in Canada or something. Looks a little too large for Europe. I don't know, maybe that's just me being used to lots of tiny, narrow valleys. Basically at the body, you just try to recreate the scene, inspect everything, put everything back in place so you can picture what happened by touching the body. Yeah, I guess I sort of did that, but maybe... Yeah. Might have just done it. Like, I put the rock back where I found it. Enjoy some of the music. Doodly-doo. So yeah, we put the rock back here that we found up there somewhere. And later I drove this back. I mean, it says here there is dry spot, so I think that's where I had it parked the last time. I think it made a sound again now. That looks promising. Yeah. So I don't know if I've missed anything. Oh, now it went bigger. Okay, so I just didn't quite park it in the right spot, I guess. Thank you. Oh, he hit him with a crank. That's why the crank was down there. Okay. Oh, and Ethan was there to see that. That's not good. Okay. Thank you, that's creepy. Oh, so they were both driving here, or what? Part of the detail repairing the bridge or something? Oh, he tried to kill Ethan. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So he tried to kill Ethan. And then I guess... he got run over by the train. Let's see what the rock is about. Chronology tag. Okay, he took the rock. Wait, no. Not one. Can I undo this? Okay. Okay, here he already has the rock. So I guess this should be 1. He puts him on there. Right, and then... I think that's the grandfather, isn't it? So then the grandfather gets the rock. And... approaches him, hits him. And then he's disoriented and on there. Gets run over. And then he crawls away. And then he gets whacked. Visualize.
Listen to me. We can destroy it. I know how.
You
can't destroy it, Ethan. You can't destroy time. And that's what he is. He is forever.
Gail, honey, I wish there was another way. Travis, tell me where Ethan is. Now.
I'm giving the sleeper what he wants. What all of us want. Look, old man, you need to go home. No.
Ethan, run, goddammit! Go! Get out of here! Travis, close your eyes.
Okay, so that was Travis that we found here. Oh, it flew back there somewhere. Did we forget one? Maybe where he disposed of the crank? Oh yeah, there's some more here.
Grandpa? Stay away!
Ethan, I'm sick too. I can feel the sleeper in my head.
Then fight it! I have to destroy the room!
Corvus, I'm sorry. Ethan,
Oh no!
I can't let you do that.
Uh-oh.
Whatever had turned Ethan's family against him, the grandfather was trying to resist. Age helps against those things that feed on hate. Not because of wisdom or experience, because the old are tired. Their hate is less useful.
That was spooky. Jesus, that was... yeah, not too much fun, but we've got it. So I guess he says he had to destroy the room. So I guess that's what we're investigating next. Anyway, this is the point where we're half an hour late for our break. So there will be a short 5-minute break, and then you'll have me back and have some clips in the meantime.